you seen Star Wars?
3 months after she was fired from Disney and Lucasfilm, it looks like they are pushing for Gina Carano to win an Emmy nomination for her work in The Mandalorian Season 2. Let's talk about it. So I think this is going to be a conversation that we're going to have for a while now. I think Gina Carano is constantly going to be brought up, maybe once or twice a year, for at least the next 5 years in the Star Wars fandom. And that's because of the unique situation that she was in. If you guys don't remember, a Lucasfilm spokesperson came out and said that Gina Carano's tweets and comments were, I think it was abhorrent and unacceptable and degrading to a certain ethnicity or nationality. I believe they were talking about the Jewish people. And they basically, people say they fired Gina Carano. They didn't rehire her, is basically what happened. So that's what is kind of going on here. Right now, Disney and Lucasfilm is, of course, pushing for Emmy nominations. This is what all big production and all big studios do, is they want Emmy nominations for big shows, movies, you name it, just so they can get the kind of mainstream culture appeal to that. It's like, hey, Mandalorian, Emmy nominated and Emmy winner show, and we could even do that with Gina Carano. So why are they pushing for this? Likely it wasn't intentional. The people are going to do this as like, oh, they're being hypocrites and whatnot. No, this is what they do. It would be really weird for them to put up posters that say, for your consideration, put The Mandalorian for this, 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 and this, and this, and this, but by the way, exclude Gina Carano. Like, that's just kind of weird. But I also understand the confusion and the weirdness of them letting her go and then continuing to promote her and want her to be considered for an Emmy nomination. And this is kind of where the conversation falls apart. Because on one hand, you're going to have a bunch of people who said Lucasfilm fired Gina Carano, which in a sense is true. Like, I'm not going to say for all intents and purposes that they're wrong, but business-wise, legally speaking, at least from Disney and Lucasfilm's perspective, that is wrong. They didn't fire Gina Carano, they just did not renew her contract. And since she's a former MMA fighter, I'll use something like this as an example because I'm a huge MMA fan as well. Imagine you're a UFC fighter and you have 5 fights in your contract, and on the 5th fight, you win, you lose, it doesn't matter, but then the UFC just doesn't sign you on for more. Were you cut from the UFC? Well, in a sense, yes, but really, they just simply didn't re-sign your contract. They just were like, hey, thanks for doing your job, but your services are no longer needed. That's pretty much exactly what happened to Gina Carano. They said, hey, thank you for season 1 and 2. You did great, but we're not going to bring you back for season 3. We just didn't like what you said. They weren't firing her, but come on, we all know they were really firing her. I'm playing wordsmith with you here, but I just want you to understand both sides of the story. That some of us are going to look at this and go, Lucasfilm fired Gina Carano, and other people are going to look at this and go, oh, they simply didn't rehire her. They didn't re-sign her contract. And both are pretty much fair and accurate. But the thing with this is people are going to attach themselves to Gina Carano now and make this a culture thing. Make this a culture war thing. And I was a little bit annoyed with this at first. Because initially what happened is when Cara Dune's character launched in Season 1 of The Mandalorian, a lot of us really liked her character. But then there were people, in the fandom menace mostly, who were like, oh, she's an SJW, Mary Sue, she kicked Mando's ass, and they were all pissed off about it. But then when Season 2 comes out, and Gina Carano starts tweeting things that are anti-establishment, anti-cancel culture, anti-pretty much typical Twitter mobs shit, anti-SJW, all that stuff, anti-COVID, pretty much. She was against the lockdown. She's against all the regulations and rules that America was going through. Once she started putting that stuff out, people in the fandom menace went, oh, wait a minute. She is not a Mary Sue. She is not an SJW. She's a fucking queen. And then on the other side of the aisle, people on Twitter, SJWs, the people who really like Disney Star Wars, when they saw Cara Dune, they liked her character. Everyone was really fine with Cara Dune at first. And then when she started tweeting some not PC stuff, some anti-cancel culture, anti-mask, all that stuff that happens to be a little bit more right-leaning politically, everyone started going, oh, she's a bad actress. Gina Carano's awful at her job. She needs to be fired. People were asking for her to be fired basically throughout Season 2 and even before Season 2. So people really wanted her gone for some time. And now that she's gone, they're all singing the praises and they're happy about it. Great. I'm just saying that clearly wasn't a... Like, the whole argument in the narrative around Gina Carano was no longer about her merit as an actress, her character in The Mandalorian. It was simply her tweets and what she was saying. That's what everyone attached to, and I think that sucks. I think that really sucks, because I think that shows Most people aren't talking about Gina Carano because they were huge fans of her character in The Mandalorian, or they really like Gina Carano as a person. They want to attach themselves to her name because of the culture war. Now, there's certain people this doesn't apply to. Someone like Drunk 3PO, clearly good guy. Jay went out to meet Gina Carano. He's been a fan of her since. People like that genuinely are fans of this woman. But you also have the other hand of people who are trying to attach themselves in order to be on the right or left side of this culture war that is going on just in America and politics. Politics is a reflection of cultures and vice versa. But still, people are using Cara Dune, Gina Carano, as this new figure against cancel culture. And what sucks is that I said, go back and listen to my streams about this, I remember saying that I would respect Gina Carano a lot more if she would become the face of anti-cancel culture. If she would use this as a movement instead of making it all about her, make it about being against cancel culture. I thought she was doing that because I also called this like literally the day before it happened. Whenever she was let go, I said she should team up with Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. Like those guys over there, they're doing like the film stuff and everything to be a little bit more conservative and add to the culture like that or whatever. I was like, hey, if Gina really wants to make a big to-do about this, she should go team up with Daily Wire. And ironically, the next day they announced that they're going to do a film with her and everything. I'm just saying someone might be listening to Star Wars Only. But my point here is, after Gina was fired, I wanted her to take a position of, I don't want you to take the back burner. I don't want you to shy away from the limelight. I actually want you to become the face of this new movement. I actually want you to become a positive influence against cancel culture or against whatever ideology you're trying to stand up for, whether you think it's right or wrong. At least she's standing up for what she believes in. But since then, she's just kind of faded away. She's not, I'm not going to say become irrelevant, but in terms of the whole culture war, it seems like more people are fighting on behalf of Gina Carano than Gina Carano is fighting for on behalf of herself. And I don't like that. I think that's just a bad sign. I think that's a sign that there are certain people using her name in order to validate their opinions against cancel culture, which I'm fine with you being against cancel culture. I'm just saying that you can't use Gina Carano as a defense mechanism and say, oh, look what they did to her, and we got to stick by her when her episodes for The Mandalorian were coming out, you were calling her an SJW Mary Sue. But I believe those same standards can be applied to people who did not like Gina Carano's tweets, but when her episodes were coming out, they were like, yes, Queen, slay, you show that fucking bitch Mando. Like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You guys need to stop making this so much about your political ideologies and the culture stuff and just enjoy the work. Sit back, relax, grab a six-pack, and watch The Mandalorian kick ass. That's all we should really want to do at the end of the day. But it feels like anytime there's some opportunity to add to the culture war, not even to the culture, just the culture war, people will do it, whether it's using Gina Carano's name to be against her or to be for her. I just think it's funny that this is where this conversation has gone. It has no longer been about, was it right to let her go? Was it wrong to let her go? It was, I'm using her name because I need to validate my opinions against cancel culture, and other people going, I'm using her name because I need to prove to you that this is an okay thing, or just holding her accountable for the stupid shit she said. Did she say stuff that wasn't recommended? Absolutely. Did it deserve to get her canceled or be fired? I don't think so. Do I care in the end? No. You want to know why? It's not me. It's not my life. It doesn't affect me. I'm going to miss seeing her character in The Mandalorian. I thought Cara Dune was a great character. I just wanted to see where the story went. But hey, you can't get what you want all the time. But anyways, I digress. I'm sorry for the long Star Wars rant and the tangents that I went on. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you all for watching, though. If you stuck around to this point, I'm Star Wars Only. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, because it does help the channel. If you want to become an Only fan, because I am Star Wars Only, you can't become an Only fan. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, you will get notifications, and you will stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.